All right, my unfuck yourself butterflies. How are you? Good morning, it's Rachel, and I wanted to jump on and do a live just for our group for a moment. I decided this is, I think, the place to pour my love and attention into this and my other group, Yoga is a Business. So you can join both if you want. That's really more geared towards yoga teachers and people trying to create a business, as this group is a little bit more focused on the self and how to step out of what you know right now and create a really impactful life for yourself, one that's filled with connection and love, peace, happiness, all the good stuff. So I want to jump on for a second. Let's talk about ahimsa. So ahimsa is the first of the yamas. So let's just back up for a second. So many people, I believe, in our culture are not aware that there are actually 8 limbs to yoga. Not just one, not just asana. Some people even think maybe there's 2 or 3, right? There's asana, postures, meditation, and breath work. Maybe they don't even realize those are separate limbs, but they are. But yoga actually has an 8-limb path to help you reach a place of what we call samadhi. Samadhi is really just turning the lights on. So being a little more mindful, a little bit more aware, and finding that place of like inner peace, right? Inner calm, which I believe is the goal of the human, right? Is to find this space where we feel at peace and at ease with ourselves, with our life, at least 50% of the time. I believe life is 50-50, and it's so important that we feel the whole full range of emotions. I think so many people are living in this range of just like, I'm going to just feel a little bit of negative, maybe like a -2 on a scale, and I'll go up to like a +3, right? Because to allow yourself to feel a -10 just feels overwhelming, feels like it would be too much and you wouldn't be able to handle it and you would shut down. Or because of that, you're never giving yourself the permission to feel that +10, which is that true feeling of love and divinity. So, but here's the good news, my friends. Because life is 50-50, we can feel that 50%, that we can go below -2. We can actually go to -5 or 6, and we will be fine. It's just a sensation in our body. And that's going to open up the doors, the windows, to reach this place where we feel absolutely amazing sometimes, and we feel +10. So how does any of this have anything to do with ahimsa? So I believe these limbs in yoga help us explore all of these sensations, all of these feelings in our body, so we can lead a life that we choose, that we create, that we manifest. And the first of the limbs are the yamas. And the first yama is ahimsa. And the word ahimsa actually means nonviolence. And I think so often we think of nonviolence, we think of not being violent to others, which yes, 100%, that is a huge part of it. But today I want you to think about ahimsa towards the self. I want you to do a little self-inquiry. So I want you, if you're not seated, take a seat, find a chair, or you can sit on the ground. And whatever's touching the floor, I want it to press into the earth. So, for example, if I'm standing right now, so I feel my feet press into the mat. But if I had a chair nearby, I'd grab one and sit down and feel my feet press down. Or if I was on the ground, I'd feel my sit bones press down. And you want to connect to the ground for a moment, to Mother Earth. And you want to take a moment to just tap into all 5 of your senses. So what you hear right now, you hear my voice. Maybe you even hear the birds outside chirping, whatever. And what is the temperature? What do you smell? What do you taste on your tongue? And what do you see? Your eyes might be closed, but what do you see? Maybe you just see darkness. Or maybe as you look through the third eye, that space between your eyebrows, you then look back at yourself. and you start to actually look at yourself. You start to see yourself for who you are in this moment. This moment, right here, right now. And this is the work I want you to do right now. I want you to start to observe yourself. I want you to observe the own inner dialogue that's going on in your mind. We all have it. We have like 90,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. Fucking shitload, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So, but what are you saying to yourself? So many of us aren't even aware of how we talk to ourselves. And I can guarantee you a lot of us are not practicing ahimsa. We are not being kind and thoughtful. I know, myself included. I have to catch myself. But here's the thing. If you don't stop and quiet yourself and start to listen, then you have no ability to start to change the inner dialogue. But the work is to change the inner dialogue. Start to understand what you're saying to yourself, my friends. If you are telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, I'm stupid, I suck, nothing's working, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like crap. And then you ask yourself, why do I get angry so easily? Why do I feel so anxious and overwhelmed? So much of it comes, I would say 99% of it comes from this inner dialogue. So right now, if you were to sit down on your couch and then you would ask yourself to sit next to you, would you say those things to that person next to you? That is you. Right? Like, you are your own best friend. Do you want to continue to say these things to yourself? Yes or no? You answer that question. And then every time those thoughts pop up, we all have them. There's no shame here. There's no guilt here. It's part of the human experience. It's part of being a human, right? These ingrained default thoughts, they've just been on repeat. They've probably been on repeat since you were 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. I don't know. I know for me that well. But here's the thing. Today you can start to become more mindful about them. It's the first step. It's understanding your own inner voice. And then you decide, in this moment, in an instant, am I ready to shift? You can't just shift all at once. You can't just say, okay, Rachel, I agree. My inner voice sucks. She's horrible. She's mean. She's nasty. She is not practicing ahimsa. But you can start by being more aware. And once you're more aware, you can start to soften that inner voice one step at a time. You want to think of a ladder. Steps, right? Here's the bottom step. And on this bottom step is that inner voice right now. This is your goal. What you want her to be saying to yourself. Like, damn, I'm a badass. I'm incredible. Strong. Powerful. Confident. Right now, she might be down here. You want to get her to here in order to fully practice ahimsa. So where do you got to go? You got to step up one step at a time. One step at a time. So you're not going to go from I suck to I'm amazing. You're going to go from I suck to maybe other people don't necessarily think that about me. And you're just going to stay there in that space for some time. Maybe practicing reminding yourself that thought day in and day out. Maybe for 2 days. Maybe for 3 days. Maybe for a week. Maybe for a month. And when you fully believe that thought, take yourself up to the next step. You get closer to practicing ahimsa, right? Because we're stepping away from the violent thoughts. Now, here's the thing I've learned about myself. The more I get up here, And I'm not always up here. There are days I fall down this ladder, right? It's kind of like chutes and ladders. And I have to pick myself back up from the very beginning and do the work again. But I found the more that I do this work on myself, the kinder I am, the more compassionate I am, the more understanding I am for others, the stronger ability I have to hold space for others. So let's start today. Let's start practicing ahimsa on ourselves so we can be that person, right? We can be that person who's practicing nonviolence, not just to ourselves, but to others too. All right, do the work, my friends. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm offering free 30-minute sessions right now during the coronavirus, just to help people get through the edge. We can talk about if doing this work in detail, in depth, more with me, different options, right? I have coaching one-on-one, and then I also have a group class starting in a few weeks, I believe 2 weeks, yoga off the mat. We'll be going into things like ahimsa. And the powerful thing about a group is you'll have lots of other people to share and talk about with your beliefs, your thoughts, a safe space. All right, my friends, have a wonderful Monday. Talk to you soon. Namaste.